All right, what's going on, everyone? I just went and saw Ballerina from the world of John Wick. That's like the whole title. Like when you look it up on IMDb, it's from the world of John Wick Ballerina because you really need that John Wick name to sell this movie. I mean, Ana de Armas is a pretty popular actress. A lot of people think she's hot. She is in this movie, of course, and in general. But I don't think she's that popular enough to. I don't know what the budget on this movie was. I'm sure it was a little bit up there since this is part of the John Wick franchise. But I think she was great as Eve. Eve is her character's name. And there's tons of action, of course, as you would expect from these movies, which the action is great, but it also does take away from her character development. Because in the beginning, we see her as a kid. We see her dad gets killed, and so that basically sets on her quest for the movie later in life is getting revenge for her dad, which is the base plot. Not going to get any more into it because this is non spoilers. But you really only get that opening scene for like character development, and it's through the child actor that plays the younger version of her and not even Ana de Armas. So whenever you see her older, she's already been through the training. She's already kicking ass. I mean, she's still training, but she still has to like prove herself. And the point is, she's in the later part of her training, so you missed a lot of that build up and whatnot. But I mean, John Wick, you didn't see his training, so it doesn't really matter. But I feel like John Wick, even though it was a lot shorter, you got a lot more, I don't know, character development, with his wife and the dog being sent to him and the dog being killed. And well, I do think her story is sad, of course, watching, your parent die or get killed in front of you. But again, I just don't feel like the movie ever gave her time to really show it. There was one point in the movie where she kind of started to show that emotion, but it was only like a split second. They never really gave her a moment to sit there and really express it and show it and whatnot. Like I feel like we did with John Wick. When he's getting the sledgehammer and he's smashing the concrete to get all of his old stuff out. Like a scene like that or something like that, like a build up to this, but it was kind of just like a little bit of exposition and then boop, 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 boop for the rest of the movie. Because it really is just like straight on just action, kind of like how the fourth one was, but the fourth one kind of earned that through the four movies, building up the story. Well, she is badass. She knows. She's again, it's a John Wick movie, so she knows how to take dudes out in crazy ways using random weapons, and like there's a whole scene with flamethrowers that they're using. I'm pretty sure they show that in the trailer also. But there was another fight scene with another kind of weapon. I'm not gonna say what it was because someone spoiled it for me, but it's really cool when you see it. You'll probably know what it is when you see it. And I feel like this movie and any John Wick movie, like if there's a sequel to this movie, say in like 2027, 2028, when the stunt Oscar category becomes a thing, like these movies are just gonna sweep it. Like I feel bad for any other movie that goes up against this series, considering it's like the entire production team is like stunt people basically. Like everyone involved is stunt people for the most part, and that's why you get all these crazy fight scenes. Like this movie has a crazy amount of people being set on fire, and you can tell that it's not like, I'm sure some of it is CGI, but you can tell that it's actual people doing like the burns and stuff like that. And while the fights, they can be gritty and brutal, but another thing I like about this series is that the fights have a lot of like practical comedy, like slapstick comedy sometimes. Like there's like a fight scene in a kitchen, they knock over like a cart of plates and they're just sitting there smashing each other over the head with plates, and it's just dumb because obviously the plates aren't going to do anything to them, but they're just sitting there just like and just hit each other. It's just funny. People in the theater there was quite a bit of most people were chuckling and clapping and stuff. So definitely a good crowd film. I seen it at 6:30 on a Thursday night for the previews, and the theater was almost sold out. So it was a pretty good. I'm expecting this movie to probably might have a pretty decent opening because the theater was pretty much full, and luckily for once there weren't really any assholes. There was a guy like two seats to my left who was like pulling out his phone sometimes with the full brightness on. That was kind of annoying, but he only did it like 2 or 3 times. Didn't hear any talking, anything else. Didn't hear like whispering nonsense. So it was a pretty good theater experience, I'll say. Which, is getting harder these days. And yeah, John Wick is in this movie, of course. They showed that in the trailer. Like I said, they have to promote with him to get people to see this movie. And yeah, he's in it. He's in it for like 5 minutes. If you've seen the trailer, you know why he's there. If you're someone who's been avoiding the trailers, I'm just not gonna even say what he is, but it's pretty short. Same with Norman Reedus. He's in this movie literally 2 minutes. I want someone to like actually count how long who was in the movie, because it had to be like 2-3 minutes max. But I mean, it was cool to see him. He was kicking ass. And, he fit in well to the world. But again, you're just like, oh, it's Norman Reedus. Yeah, again, he was in it for 2 minutes and then he's gone. This movie had tons of explosions. I feel like this movie Compared to John Wick 1, it was a pretty contained story, even though it was still like an epic action film. It was still a contained story, contained action scenes and stuff like that. But this one is just like she's just going through this entire town, just blowing shit up and killing everybody. And this like town she's in, everyone's like an assassin, so every corner she turns, people are trying to kill her, and it's like John Wick 4, where he's just constantly fighting people like for the entire movie. But again, they built up to that, so for this movie, like for her first movie to kind of be her doing some John Wick stuff, kind of interesting. Because I don't know if has enough experience to be able to do all that. Because again, I feel like they could have taken out one of the action scenes and put in another like emotional exposition, some character development scene for Ana de Armas to do to show her acting chops. Because we see that she can kick ass, of course, and we know she's a good actress. We just need the writers and directors to allow her to show that, so you are more connected to her character, and it's not just like angry girl want revenge, kick ass, kind of thing. Not that that's what the filmmakers were intended. They're like, yeah, it's just she, badass girl kick butt. It's just, I'm sure they were like they should, focus on the stunts and stuff, because that's what people enjoy. But again, if there was just that little bit more of character development, it would have been a little bit better for me, in my opinion. Lance Reddick is in the movie, of course. Rest in peace. He's in the trailer. Ian McShane's back as Winston. She has this arc with her sister, which really wasn't impactful. Again, there are like crumbs there for making like a good emotional story for her, like a through line, but they just fall flat. And again, you just don't really connect with the character throughout the movie. So hopefully for the sequel, they dig more into that. But from the way it ends, I'm guessing they're gonna just be. I'm worried we won't get that. I'm worried it'll just be another just nonstop, just action, 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 which I mean, again, it's fun, it's good, it's great, people love that, but also, we want to connect to Eve and care about her journey like we do with John Wick. And if I had to like fit this movie in the John Wick universe like ranking, I'd probably go John Wick 1 is my favorite, John Wick 4 is my second favorite, John Wick 3 is my third favorite, Ballerina is the fourth, and then number 2 is the fifth. For whatever reason, I just really do not like the second one. Or like, not that I don't like it, I'm just the most meh on that one. 1, 4, and 3, I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely rewatch those. Ballerina, I'd probably rewatch that again, with people, or it's something you can have on in the background, just action, white noise going on. And number 2, I mean, I'll probably do like a whole series watch again, so I'll probably watch number 2 and change my opinion. But this movie, I'd probably give it a 3.9 out of 5. Again, the action was top notch. It was great. It was awesome. It's amazing the things they can come up with, the sequences they can come up with, the way they just use random everyday things that they pick up off tables and stuff, and how they use different kinds of weapons than they're normally used. And so that part of the movie was like amazing. That was like perfect. But again, just some more character development for Eve would have been nice. So hopefully we get that in part 2. Let me know down below. Have you seen Ballerina from the world of John Wick? Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Let me know why. Hit the like button, subscribe. Peace.